Welcome back. I'm Adam Carlson. Thank you for joining us today. Here I'm going to talk about Stanza, so let's dive right into it. I have with me Stanza. I would like to share a little bit about Stanza, our brand new character in Too Many Bones Undertow. I've gone ahead and set up the board a little bit. We're just going to kind of go through all the things that make Stanza who she is. She's one of our more involved characters. She's got a lot of unique characteristics about her, and how she plays is very, very different from all the other gear acts. I have with me our reference sheet. I can direct you to this part here. This is Duster. Here we go. We got Stanza right here. All right. So difficulty is a little bit up there. I would compare her with, Tink or even Tantrum's level of complexity. So definitely a character that takes a little bit of learning, but once you master her, she is so much fun. All right. So Stanza plays music. So she's kind of the bard. She's got her little guitar. That's the name of the instrument. In fact, that's the first thing I want to talk about. Is this die number 6 is her innate skill. She will start with it when you start building out her character. And each time at the start of battle, you'll be able to roll this in and place it on her prep area, which is this area right here. So this number represents her focus that she will have to be able to play her songs. So, as always, I always recommend for the gamers to start to play in the adventurer mode. So, the 2 health plus a free skill. I've gone ahead and preloaded Stanza with some more skills so we can talk about it. But make sure you're playing your first game with adventurer mode. So the 2 extra health chips are very important. And for your starting free skill, I would recommend maybe die number 10 under the old Zelfay. That has a little bit of a buff heal within that one, so that'll help with the survivability. I've set up the board a little bit so we can kind of walk through how she plays. Let's just fast forward. Started the battle with 4 focus. The Dominican monkey has gone. Now Stanza's turn. So the first thing you need to know about Stanza is at the start of her turn, she will check her songs and get them all in place how she wants them. So funny enough, for her first round, all she's going to be doing is choosing to play a song or not. And the song's going to active slot here. So I'm going to go ahead and place the song up here. Now, I want to direct your attention to the bottom left and the bottom right hand side of the die. So the bottom right hand side of the die is the section or the focus required to play that song. The bottom right hand is actually something else. When I turn it over, that symbol matches the focus symbol, if you see here. So I'm going to place it up here on section 1, or the intro of the song. So I've started to play that song. Now, for all songs, one of 2 things is going to happen. Either A, you realize the song right away, and you know that by checking the symbol right here. I'm going to go ahead and find it and match it up right here. We've got buff A for active and I for instant. Affected unit gains number buff HP. So what that means is if there's an I, I'm realizing that part or that song, that section, right now. I'm going to go ahead and place this little buff HP, and that also goes in the prep area. Now if there wasn't an I, that means the song is active from now until the start of Stanza's next turn. I'm going to go ahead and place that up here. So I've got 1 focus needed, and I've got 4 focus here. So I'm good. Now the focus is not a consumed resource. It's just a check to make sure that you have enough of it so that you can play that song. I'm going to fast forward through, okay? Let's just kind of jump to round 2, and now it's the start of Stanza's next turn. Alright, the key here is, again, we're checking our songs. Now you can always intro another song on a different round. Songs don't need to start on round 1. So I could actually intro this song. So now, but all songs that are already in play must either be advanced to the next section. So I'm rotating that die, and now you'll see there's a 2 on this bottom right hand corner. So that 2 represents the focus needed to play that section of the song. Now, if you're noticing a pattern here, each time I advance the song, the required focus to play that song or continue that song continues to grow. So now I've got 2 and I've got 1, so that's 3 focus required. I'm going to check here. Great news. I have 4. I have enough. So now I can play those 2. So one other thing I want to point you guys to is the A represents all units on the board. S means it only affects Stanza herself. And there are a few others, and these are found right on this reference sheet. We've got self we just covered. There's a yellow P for party. This applies to all party members, including allies. It could be a T that affects the target. Now remember, Stanza is a melee gearlock, so she can only target units adjacent to her. So that would affect that song section. When you see it would only affect that unit. And then there's B, that affects all opposing units or baddies. And then we already covered the all. So those are the 5 letters that you will be able to see on the upper right hand corner of the dice. Alright, so this one, and then I have a move. So this is, now remember, like all gearlocks, they move orthogonally adjacent. So 1 move, 2 move positions. And I would be able to realize that right now. So then I would transition into the move phase if I want to move that costs dex. So regarding dex, so that's the other thing I didn't cover yet, is now we talked about focus for these songs. The 2 focus, 1 focus. The other aspect is they actually cost dex. So each one of them, every time I intro a song or advance it, it costs a dex. Alright, I'm going to fast forward us to round 3. We're going to talk a little bit about vamping a song. Alright, so now again, round 3, start of Stanza's turn, we check the songs. There's a couple of things we can do here. So number 1, each song must either be advanced or they must be vamped. If you're doing the math, this one's on section 3 and section 2, which means 5 focus is required to play both of those songs at those sections. I do not have enough. So something has to give. So I'm going to go ahead and vamp this song. So what vamping does is it costs a dex. It costs a focus to temporarily suspend the song. And in doing so, there are no effects on that side. However, the next round, round 4, I will start the song again. And that will also be 1 focus, but it'll also be a dex. So that's cool. So one of the interesting dynamics about these songs is you can actually intro vamp, and all of that would just cost 1 focus. However, when you take a song further along the sections, you'll see some benefits be stronger, weaker, and then usually by the time you get to section 5, I call it the crescendo. That is the strongest benefit, and that's where you get the real rewards, and the party just goes crazy. They just love the strong benefits from that, so that's pretty cool. Anyway, so I'm on section 3 here, and so now 4 focus is needed for continuing this turn as shown. So that works. 4 focus, 4 focus. So let's fast forward to my select and roll my dice phase. One other thing you can do with your songs is you can roll them in for added focus. So I'm going to go ahead and give this a roll. Here we go. So I actually rolled one of the best sides that I could have hoped for on the focus. I'm going to put this over here. Now, remember I shared with you earlier about the symbol matching. I'm going to turn this die around. So we've got 4 focus, and here's a smaller 2 focus. So now I just place it in the prep area, and I have 6 focus, which will now help me at the start of my next round or my next turn. Rolling in dice for a focus is always an option. They cost a dex to roll. You place it in the prep area. The cool thing about this step is later on in battle, if I want to use that dice, that die, or that song, I can simply pick it up and start intro. And while I can do that, I cannot go backwards. So once I've started introing a song, if I wish to no longer play it, if I don't even want to vamp it, I must exhaust, and I won't see that song again for the rest of battle. But for right now, what I'd like to do is keep it as focus, and this will give me an option for using that die later on. So that's how you can build your focus, is as you build out Stanza, her songs are up here. You're going to see that you're going to want to roll in some focus to get some songs going. If you want to take them deep, if you want to take them all the way to the crescendo, you're going to need to be actively rolling in your focus. Other ways you can gain focus and manipulate your songs is the backup plan. Let's talk about these three real quick. So we've got tune up. Tune up is a 1 bone cost, and this one, and again, all of this is on your reference sheet. I'm going to flip this over and we're going to cover tune up. So tune up increases the guitar amplifier die by 1. So when I spend that, I actually take this die and I can increase it by 1. It's capped at 5. I will no longer be able to increase it any further because 5 is the highest number on that die. But a very good play early on in battle. If I get all the way to backup plan number 3, we have add distortion. Add distortion allows me to intro, advance, or vamp a song in active slot. Focus must still meet total focus requirement. Alright, so what it will allow me to do is now, if I have this much focus, let's say I had 4, and I wish to do add distortion instead. I've got the 6 focus. I can go ahead and jump right to focus, section 4 on that song, and I still meet the requirements. And this was just after I advanced it to 3, so this is a great way to advance your songs along more quickly. So section 5, crescendo, doesn't necessarily have to be in the 5th round. The last backup plan, the guitar smash. I'm going to bring this back. So Stanza destroys her guitar to deal damage equal to half the number in focus and prep area. Rounded down to target. Exhaust all profession dice from the prep area, skills area, and active slots. Interesting. So that's her big finishing move. So essentially I'm adding this number when I do my guitar smash. I take my 5 bones away. I've got 6 focus. So I'm going to do 3 damage to my target, just like that. But I also have to remove all of my profession dice from here, and from, so active slots, skills area. So if I had, so this is included, this is my profession dice. So just like that. So that's why you want to make sure it's your last move, because you're basically wiping your slate clean and all you have is attack and defense left to work with. So that's pretty cool. So we covered the backup plan. We covered kind of mostly about how songs work. If the songs feel overwhelming, just try it 1 song, maybe 2 songs in your first couple of games with Stanza. I recommend going for the last skill tree. We've got Axe Blade, Charge, Swing, and Fury Cleave. So the Axe Blade has a poison attached to it. The Charge, Swing, basic damage, plus it does additional damage to an adjacent unit to that unit. Now be careful, because if you are the only adjacent unit to that unit, you're going to be the one who takes the damage from that blue number. Fury Cleave, so this is true damage. This will bypass defense and thick skin. So this is a real nice play as well. You can go up to 2 damage. We have guitar strings, we have amplifier. So this is her consumable dice. The amplifier has additional focus. That can be rolled in, so that will help you get more songs into play more quickly. And the guitar strings are bones, so that will help you advance to a guitar smash, or even it will get you a jump start to upgrading your innate to innate +1. So regarding the innate, so again we cover the innate as to how Stanza starts with her guitar die, and that die is rolled at the start of battle. That is her innate. She starts with her instrument. However, when you upgrade it to innate +1, whenever you roll that die in, this is die number 6 by the way, you will automatically upgrade that by 1. So if you roll a 5, it's just capped at 5. But any other number, you'll be able to gain the benefit of trying to get it higher. So this will allow you to start with more focus from battle to battle. Alright, so we've covered all of Stanza. Again, thank you for joining me today to talk about her. If you have any questions, you can always reach out to us, or maybe make a comment on our YouTube below, on the YouTube video, and then I'll help you out. Thank you.